Yeah, some dude actually walked right past me, looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You're not blind." I've wanted to do like, start doing some Daredevil stuff for quite a while. I did like a really early Matt Murdock photo shoot that was just like in my bedroom like a year ago. And I think I've been like teasing Daredevil content for like the last 2 years on my Instagram, and I'm finally getting around to actually shooting some. But yeah, we're starting off small with just some Matt Murdock stuff. We're gonna shoot into the city. We're gonna find some stuff that kind of looks, you know, like Hell's Kitchen, I guess, which is, you know, just any random city street will do. So I have a lot of love for the Netflix series. So this is gonna be based on Matt's season 1 appearance. So we've got just like basic old gray suit here, which is gonna do. Famous red glasses, of course, these are from Magnolia Clothiers, I'm pronunciations, and of course, we've got his cane as well, which is just one I picked up from like Vision Australia's website. So without any further ado, I will suit up, quite literally, and we'll get this show on the road. Now today was supposed to be kind of overcast and rainy, which I thought was going to work really well for the kind of Daredevil vibes. Not that it rains a lot in the show, it sort of does, but I was hoping I could come into the city before it got, oh, that's cool, maybe I'll shoot in front of there. I wanted to be in the city much earlier because a lot of the daytime scenes in the show are shot, they have this kind of really soft lighting, really kind of overcast kind of look to them. So that kind of weather was perfect if I wanted to shoot here in the city, but we've left it till quite late in the day to try and get the same effect. We just don't want that really harsh light in the way. But I think this will work. This will work pretty well. So we're coming to St. Mary's Cathedral because it has, well, it's a Catholic church, which fits really well with Matt. Oh, there's a wedding happening behind me over here. Oh, Hummers and stuff. So the front of the cathedral might actually be packed. We're gonna play it by ear. Because we might end up just going towards the court and stuff, which again also fits the Matt Murdock vibe. But either way, we're going to shoot a little bit into the evening so that we get some kind of daytime stuff, a bit of nighttime stuff. I'm really out of breath as well, that's concerning. So there's actually a bit of construction around the church at the moment, mainly up the front there, and then also kind of over here where we've shot previously, but I think we can kind of get around a lot of that with the kind of shots that we want. We're kind of trying to kind of recreate some of these shots that we got before for my Bruce Wayne stuff, which was shot really early morning, so it was like dead quiet. So yeah, here's a little bit different, but we'll see how we go. We just finished up in the main courtyard there. That actually went really, really well. We're losing the light a little bit, but we've got enough to kind of get what we want here. I think I might actually get a couple shots right here. Yeah, that's nice. Some dude actually walked right past me, looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You're not blind." And I was like, "Yeah, good catch, mate." But I think he genuinely thought I was. He didn't seem like he had any concept of the character. It was kind of funny. He seemed kind of offended. He's like, this dude's out here pretending to be blind. And coming into the city today, I was a little bit like, oh, like when I'm walking around the city, do I pretend to use the cane? As in like, is it better to just pretend I'm blind? Is it better to act completely blind or to obviously be walking around with a cane and then being able to see? I didn't know what looked better, so I decided to just wrap this up whenever I'm walking around because I feel like I don't want to give off the impression that I actually am blind. Anyway, moving on. It was just a really cool backdrop here, so I don't know if you can see it if I stand out here. Stand out here more. With just like the city lights up in the back there, that made for a really cool shot. So that's half of what this is whenever we go out on location, is just looking, you just kind of wander around and try and look for stuff think is going to look good on camera, and then you just kind of shoot it, which is kind of the benefit of just kind of running and gunning it. Planning it does have its benefits. In fact, in a lot of cases, I would recommend you plan every shoot you do down to a T, because it just saves a lot less stress on the day, especially when you're shooting in like elaborate cosplays. So like a bat suit, for example, is a lot harder to move around in, so you want to be more planned for your shoots. But for something that's literally just like a lawyer get up suit or whatever, you can pretty much you can just run and gun it. It really doesn't make a difference. But yeah, so far so good. So believe it or not, that there is actually, I don't know if you can hear me over the sound of the fountain, but that's like the famous Matrix fountain, and I did want to get like an actual a shot there, but they've got a bunch of like half-assed construction here at the moment. So I'm going to come back and get like another shot here at another time, because I think that's just really cool that, you know, living in Sydney, having access to such an iconic movie location, I should take advantage of that. So we'll put a pin in that one for now, but we'll be back there to escape the Matrix next time. The reason that all that kind of like equipment was sitting back there actually is because the city is setting up for Vivid here, which is like this kind of big light installation that Sydney does every single year. Personally, I feel like it's a little bit underwhelming, but they do like a bunch of like projections all over the city and stuff, and they have all these cool light installations, which would be a cool kind of, you know, setup for any kind of cosplay shoot, but it's always just so crowded. Like there's just literally thousands of people, and it's kind of, it's really difficult to move around in. So as cool as all this stuff is, trying to like do any kind of like cosplay photo shoot during a lot of it is borderline impossible. Still cool nonetheless, but this building actually here, this is like the big post office building that I've done some Batman and Bruce Wayne stuff at before. I'll throw some of that stuff up on the screen now. But yeah, this is also a beautiful, beautiful building. It's actually like the clock tower as well that I've shot against before. But yeah, it's like Sydney's old post office, so it's been here for freaking ever. Because these are like, they're red tinted obviously, but they're just like sunglasses. So walking around at night in these, it's almost genuinely like I'm 50% blind. It's quite difficult to see. But yeah, that was actually really cool. Do we have a green light? Yes, we do have a green light. Sorry. Diagonally. Why are you pushing me across the tram tracks? Why did you just leave? You just let a blind man across tram tracks. I cannot believe this. Karen Page would never treat me like this. But I cannot tell you how nice it is to be able to wander around technically in cosplay that's just effectively regular clothes, because I'm just way more inconspicuous. When I've done public stuff in the bat suit, it's just been incredibly like obvious. Like people are staring and they're pointing and they're shouting and they're like wanting to come up for pictures, which is great. And I love that, but it can just make it a little bit more of an anxiety-inducing experience. A couple of people have recognized me as Matt Murdock, which is fun, but like way more low-key than any kind of like Batman stuff. So although the city is pretty busy tonight, I mean it is a Saturday night, part of me does want to test the theory of like if I actually whip out the cane and lean into the full Matt Murdock act, if people will just get out of my way. But no, that feels a little bit I don't want to actually fake being blind. That's probably not ideal. Everything is just like red tinted as well, so it's like it's really dark but also really like kind of red orangey, which I suppose Matt would never really have to worry about or deal with because, well, for obvious reasons. Although World on Fire, that seems pretty red. You get my point. Being blind, yeah, the red tint is interesting. So I did just ask off to my side here
me.
Oh, sorry. I did just ask Karen. Who? My camera woman. I did just ask her how recognizable, like if she had just, you know, being a Marvel fan herself, if she had just seen me out on the street, would you recognize me immediately as Matt Murdock or something? She said yes, because no one else dresses like that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But then we kind of came to the conclusion that it's just the glasses, which from a character design point of view, I think is actually quite impressive that, like obviously outside the world of the Marvel Universe, Matt Murdock's entire identity, from like a recognizable character trait, the red glasses is actually, you know, people see those and they're like, oh, that's clearly Matt Murdock. I think I just think that's pretty significant. It's really simple character design, but it's turned out to be something quite significant to the character. Like, I remove these, I'm just a dude in a grey suit. Second I put those glasses on, it's like, well, it's either John Lennon or Matt Murdock, so take your pick. No, John Lennon? Elton John. Sorry, it's either Elton John or Matt Murdock, although I feel like Elton John is in brighter colours. So taking a little bit of shelter real quick just because it started to rain, only ever so slightly, but we don't have an umbrella and I have a lot of expensive camera gear on me. So I don't know if you guys can see that. If I zoom in, it's really light rain, but you know, it could get a little bit heavier in a minute. So, oh, there's a cross up on that church. Hang on. Well, of course there would be, Will. Jeez. Every time I see stuff like that, I'm like, damn, it would be cool to get up there. Put my life in risk for the shot. All right, it's really dark now, but we've made it back to the cathedral where there's a couple of spots over behind me here where there's like some cool light stuff where I took some test shots like last year before like a Batman photo shoot, and I never ended up shooting Batman stuff in those spots, but it will kind of work well for a couple of Matt Murdock shots and maybe even some Man in Black stuff that I'm working on, or the Man in the Mask version of Daredevil, which is coming. But yeah, so the problem with as cool as the cathedral is lit up like right now is that it just, when you're back, there's no light in like this main courtyard area. So it's really hard to shoot unless you've got like additional lights on you. But yeah, we're gonna try kind of over here, sort of. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing. Let me walk over here. Oh yeah, I'm already getting more lit already. So yeah, we're gonna try and shoot just a couple of final things. That is so bright now. But yeah, here will work really well, I think, for just some couple of final shots. Okay, and that is about a wrap on Matt Murdock. Well, the first Matt Murdock shoot. I'd love to do some more Matt, because this honestly is the easiest cosplay to film in. Also, I'm genuinely like 90% blind right now and I'm walking up steps. It's just because there's like literally no light here at the moment. And as I was saying before, these are like sunnies. But this is, yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. That's a lot of fun, actually. I've got a, like his Man in the Mask look sort of teed up. I've got 99% of it. I've got all the pieces of it. I've really just got to make the actual mask. I've got like a template for it that I'll do like a little bit of a, I'll turn that into a bit of a vlog as how I make that and put that together. But I'm really excited to do that and then kind of pair like a Matt Murdock with his season 1 appearances. I've also got like, I want to say most of his Daredevil suit from season 2 kind of ready to go as well. I'm just not 100% happy with how that's fitting me at the moment. So there's a bunch of alterations to do on that suit. But yeah, honestly, if we don't get any serious news on the Batman 2 anytime soon, I might just, you know, go full time into making Daredevil content, because you're killing me. You're killing me, Matt Reeves. Please, can you please finish that script? I'll throw up some of the results here now, but I'll also, most of this will be going up over on my Insta. So make sure you're following me over there, the Paragon Project. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm definitely keen to get Matt Murdock out again. And I've got some cool locations in mind as well for where I want to shoot his Man in the Mask kind of look, like kind of like dock work kind of stuff. kind of like a shipping yard situation, which is a little bit hard to get access to in Sydney, but I've got some ideas in mind. Will kind of fit that vibe of him down on the docks. So, oh, it's really dark again. I've got to try and not fall down the stairs. That's not ideal. Although then again, for a blind man, isn't that like 90% of Matt's excuses in season 1 as well? Oh, I fell down the stairs. That's why I'm bleeding all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video. Please make sure you're subscribed. Check me out over on Insta because that's where most of these photos will go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you more than you know, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.